2. Check 1, 2. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome along to day one of the MOOMBA Masters. Of course, we've had a couple of days of juniors, but this is our first day with the open skiers, with the pros. Of course, beautiful day here in Melbourne. The sun is rising. It's just a little bit after 8 a.m. We're scheduled to start at 10 past 8 here. I think it's currently about 5 past 8, so we're not far away. The towboat's headed up to the city end of the Yarra, and is going to do a simulation pass back down towards our start dock. We have women's slalom series, or seed 1 and 2 elimination round coming up first, followed by the men. So plenty of slalom over the course of the next 7 or 8 hours, and I'm sure slalom fans will be tuning in, not only here on the Yarra, but also around the world on the webcast. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the webcast. So Jared, beautiful conditions. Right on high tide. Looking forward to some great slalom.
Yeah, look, it's looking good so far. It's the tide. We're currently at high tide, so it's going to be a little bit soupy out there for our slalomers. But as the day gets on, we're going to have that same sort of tail current on the first pass as we get towards the later end of this women's preliminary round, and then through the men. It's going to be really tough for those middle of the pack guys. They're really going to have that current running as we move into the men's slalom. Of course, we've got slalom from 8 o'clock all the way through till 3 p.m. this afternoon. So it's 7 hours of slalom. If you are a slalomer and you are, this is like Christmas, isn't it, for you? Being able to watch the best slalomers in the world, both in the women's and the men's.
Absolutely. There'll be plenty tuning in around the world. Much said around the world about MOOMBA, the conditions. I'm sure there'll be comments coming through. And great to also International Women's Day today.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all the ladies. And it's good to celebrate International Women's Day here at MOOMBA, and it's good to kick it off with the women's slalom.
So just going through this start list, though, Glenn, and just talking about now this, we're into the official open competition. We've got some big headlines, don't we, from not only in this women's slalom, but also in the men's slalom. We heard Joel Howley's not here. We've seen a few people have pulled out. Nate Smith pulled out. We'll talk about him a little bit later. We've got, of course, Joel Poland out here looking to cement a spot in all 3 events, hopefully. And, of course, we'll see some of the juniors competing with the open skiers as well.
Not quite as many juniors as normal, though, Jared, because of the calibre of the cut. Highest cuts in history of MOOMBA. So not probably quite as many juniors as normal have made their way into senior MOOMBA or open MOOMBA. Here's Layne Moroney now, and it's a 14-metre start, I believe, which is probably a cut above. Quite often it's a 16-metre start for slalom here. So we're right into it straight off, which is great to see. Here's Layne Moroney, pass number 1. Way down the pass here, getting it done. Across the 4 she goes. Over the 5. That's a nice pass to open up with Jared on the 14.25 for Layne Moroney out of Victoria.
Yeah, we know she's awake now. Of course, Layne skiing up at Moala. Get to ski a little bit with Layne, and Hales out of Shepparton. Got the late call-up. Of course, it was one of those things you have to put your intent to enter in, and then from that we select the highest ranked skiers, and unfortunately Layne missed out on all 3 events coming into the tournament, and then got the late call up 2 days ago after Trinidad Espinal didn't turn up at the start dock for juniors, so she was lucky enough to get a spot. So she'll just lap this up. She'll just want to go out there and throw a big score down to start things off. But we'll go Layne Moroney, then we'll have Megan Pelkey, Canada, Ruby De Salvo, Australia, Erika Lang, USA, Lily Steiner of Austria, Valentina Gonzalez, Chile, Sanchia Outram of Great Britain, Alexia Abelson of the USA. So such an international field, as you said, Glenn. Usually we get a lot of Australians in this field, especially at the start. A lot of New Zealanders as well. Sometimes we get some New Zealanders in that mix. But yeah, with the calibre of skiing this year, it is so high that that a lot of that those everyday sort of skiers aren't competing in 2025.
Absolutely. And a number of these skiers competed last weekend at the University World Championships. Layne Moroney was one, of course, picked up a bronze medal in the trickery at those University Worlds. Congratulations to her. This is the 13-metre line now from the city end. Makes her way down the pass. Round 3. It's going okay at the moment. Across the 4. Starting to get a little bit late.
Oh.
And falls around 4 ball there. So 3.5 unofficially on the 13-metre line. Just sort of slowly got later and later further down the course, and she really needed a big 4 ball to have any chance of running the pass, and unfortunately she couldn't get one. She went for it, but lost the handle.
As you go back to that replay, see her coming here, just missed the handle outside of 4 ball.
So they're tossing up whether they're going to Hawaii or the Gold Coast. So this is really hard life. It's really hard decision. It's under the bridge down here. You're upset whether you go Gold Coast or Hawaii.
Yeah, it doesn't get too much better than this though, Glenn, here on the Yarra. A little bit of just a breath of wind, not really going to affect the water though. Conditions. Weather's going to be perfect today. If you haven't already done so, make sure you stick some sunscreen on. The sun was hot yesterday afternoon, wasn't it?
Yeah, beautiful day, but not too hot though. Not as hot as last year, so still excellent water ski viewing conditions if you want to get down here to the Yarra. Right now we're getting, where we're sitting, we're looking right into the sun as that morning sun comes up over the MCG and the Rod Laver Tennis Centre. So Megan Pelkey, she's competed in juniors over the last couple of days. She'll start on the 14.25, obviously at 55 kilometres per hour.
Great to see Megan here. Of course, competed at the Junior Masters last year. Ended up 6th place in the Junior Masters. And Dad Bob just sitting up there without a care in the world. Hope your wife knows that you've done absolutely nothing since you've been here, Bob, but that's all right. And Megan Pelkey on the 14.25 line. Glenn, as you said, she's already competed. She already had a bit of a feel for what the Yarra is like out there. And she's nice long reach, great 5 ball there, early for 6. Nice opening pass.
Yeah, nice. She bobbled around a little bit though. I think if we look at the replay there, she had a kind of bobbled onto the back of the ski going from 1 to 2. She was bouncing around a bit, but she still got the pass run, which is the main thing, of course, the main aim of the game, which is the replay here. Come across from 1 to 2. But complete opening pass. So we're right kind of on high tide at the moment, which means not too much current, which is good news, but it is obviously a little bit more movie than it will be later on. So it's probably about as rolly now as the Yarra can get. Well, I wouldn't say that because it's not a super high tide, but it's probably as rolly as it's going to get today anyway for the slalom. We do have a decent wait time, 60 seconds at the city end and I think 90 seconds or 80 seconds down there at the start dock end. So decent wait times here at MOOMBA as per usual. It's not like the 70s anymore when they used to spin the boat at the end.
I was talking to Jack Critchley yesterday and he was skiing up in Bridgewater and they asked him just to keep spinning for jump and he said, no, it got a little bit too rolly. And he comes to MOOMBA and actually feels quite nice if you're out there, but getting a bit of practice on some rolly conditions. But here comes Megan Pelkey now onto the 13-metre line. She reaches out there for 1 ball, looks nice. Gets to 2. Oh, no, she's in a bit of trouble here at 3 ball. Oh, reaches for 3, and I don't quite think she had the handle as she went around the buoy, so it looks like it might be 2 at 13 for Megan Pelkey. Bob, put your hands together for your daughter.
Wow.
Got a smile on her face, though, Megan Pelkey.
Well, 2 skiers, and both have missed their second pass here, which is, I guess, shows the conditions are not super easy out there. It's kind of tough. Continue on through this ladies slalom. Yeah, going back to, you talk about Jack Critchley, maybe trying to simulate MOOMBA a little bit by spinning the boat up there at Bridgewater. I had a similar thing at my place at Pole de Plum Freiburg. Training at my place, I've spent 20, 25 years trying to get my side as good as it possibly could. Yeah. And then Pole and his coach turn up. I finally get a world champion to come and ski at my lake. And Pole and his coach go out and do donuts in the course just for jumps to try and make it as rolly and as tough as possible, just so they could simulate MOOMBA a little bit.
Going to our next competitor, go to the young lady out of Bundaberg, in Queensland. Ruby's going to start on the 14.25 line. 55k is the maximum boat speed for our ladies here this morning. So
Okay,
here we
sorry.
Go for it, Glenn.
Ruby De Salvo, not a skier I've seen a lot of, 14.25, a young Aussie. Reaches out a bit for 2. She's in slight trouble here as she gets a little bit late down the course. She's fighting hard. Round 4 she goes. She goes across the 5. She's got the 5, and this is going to be good, I think, as she heads across the 6, and she does, and a full pass. A little bit of a nervous pass, I think, for Ruby, but in the end she negotiated things well and runs the 14-metre line.
Of course, from Queensland, not quite sure. Haven't heard too much. We haven't had a chance to watch much of the news lately of how the cyclone's been up in Queensland, but certainly our wishes go out to everyone up there in Brisbane and southeast Queensland. Jason Appleton might give us a bit of an update on whether he's got a house left over and whether his lake's filled up or not. So we'll bring it back now on the 13.25 line. If you're just joining us on the banks, welcome. This is the preliminary round of the 2025 MOOMBA Masters, our women's slalom preliminary round. And just give you a bit of an idea, 6 of our ladies will get an automatic ticket through to MOOMBA Monday. I'll have 6 ladies go through. And then we will have an LCQ, which will happen tomorrow afternoon, which will have another 6 ladies competing for the final 2 spots in the final. Bit of a different setup here for MOOMBA 2025. We'll have the same for the men's as well, but we'll explain that when that comes up. But Ruby De Salvo, 13 metres. And no, she's gone down 2 ball here, Glenn. It's girls really struggling on this second pass.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's just kind of strange. Quite often it is easier from the city end, but obviously this morning it is not easier. It's something to do probably with the fact that we're at full high tide. It's changed the dynamics on the river just a little bit. It made the city end pass the harder of the 2 passes. Well, we said we had more than 7 hours slaloming today, but at the moment it's looking like it might only be 6 the way we're going, unfortunately. There's a lot of, we haven't had a skier run a second pass yet. I'm sure things will change when we start to get into the higher caliber slalom skiers. Next up, former trick world record holder, of course, known for trick skiing, known for wakeboarding, but she can slalom as well, and that's Erika Lang out of Arizona, although I understand she's just moved to California, to San Diego. Number of skiers making San Diego home, of course, now. I think Taylor Garcia is looking to move there soon. I know Josh Bryant's already there, so my son Curtis lives in San Diego, so a little bit of a...
Good part of the world.
Yeah, it's a great place. Really nice place to live.
Eric, of course, looking for another MOOMBA trick title. We'll see her out tomorrow in the preliminary round of our trick event, but still pretty solid on the slalom ski. Can get down onto the 11.25 personal best. Personal best of 3 on the 11.25, 38 off. I believe I heard that she's going to start at 13. Is that what I heard?
I don't know, I think you might have heard that wrong, Jared. Well, I'm not doubting you, but I didn't hear the start length. I'm sure she would start at 28 off 14 metre, but hey, who knows? We'll wait and see. Yeah, 14.25 to start. Conditions look pretty good at the moment. High tide, a little bit rolly, but seems to be fairly settled at the moment. There's Erika Lang. That is a nice. That's the best opening pass of any skier so far. Very, very good trick skier, obviously. Former world record holder, but also accomplished wakeboarder. I presume she's taking part in the wakeboard at MOOMBA as well. I'm not sure. She normally does, but haven't caught up on that one yet. She'll shorten now onto the 13-metre line. If you're watching us from the United States, just 32 off will be the next pass, the green shortening.
I'm sure that we'll see Erika complete this next pass, the 13 metres. Big thank you to all of our sponsors. It's great to see the site set up with all the sponsors, isn't it? Of course, we've got DeWalt. We're going to do a bit of roving a little bit later on. We'll go around and we'll see some of the sponsors, get to have a chat to some of the sponsors. Of course, Nautique, the 100th year of Nautique. Official towboat of the MOOMBA Masters, signed all the way through till 2029. But here she comes. Erika Lang, USA. 13. Let's see if we get her through this one. Get our second pass completed. Nice start here. Gets good angle into 2-ball. Oh, great 2-ball here too. Erika. A little bit short in stature, but she makes up with it in the power that she can create through the wakes. She turns 5-ball, and there you go. First completed pass.
Season
13.
campaigner.
Yeah.
You know, a PB might not be quite as good as some of the skiers, but she's very good at running these first couple of passes in any sort of conditions. A lot of professional experience, Erika. And she'll short now onto the 12-metre line, 35 off. First skier in this ladies' slalom elimination round to get on to the 12-metre line. It was very good skiing there from Erika.
We're going to really have two bubble scores, aren't we, Glenn? We're going to have a straight through bubble score, and we're going to have a LCQ bubble score as well. Heading towards that, of course, with 18, 6 will go through. 6 will go through the LCQ. Once we know the score of Sanchia Outram. Kind of where we'll know some of these scores, and they'll start to play a bit of a part in the mind games of slalom, isn't it? Such a mind game, slalom. See a few of your competitors go out there and miss the second pass, puts a bit of doubt in your mind. Maybe it's not skiing as well as what you thought. Maybe when you were down here having a bit of a look, but
I think they'll be feeling, the next few skiers will be feeling a little bit more comfortable now after watching Erika run that 13-metre pass. It's looking a little bit better. It's amazing how one good performance can lift the rest of the field. Here's Erika Lang now. This is 12-metre line, 35 off. Out of one she goes. Late for 2. I think she's going to finish up with 2 boys here. So didn't get a good start on 1, but keep it in context. Her personal best is 3, I think you said, on the 11.25. So she's ended up within 7 boys of a PB, which is, you know, I think a lot of skiers would probably take that on the Yarra, to be fair, especially at high tide when it can be a little bit more rolly, a little bit movier at high tide.
Yeah, just a call out. Lily Steiner, if you are on site, can you head down to the start dock, please, quickly? You are up next. I know we've moved through pretty quickly, and she's, I don't know if this is MOOMBA. If you're not here to be there, the boat's there ready to pick you up, Glenn. Unfortunately, they'll just take the next skier.
Well, Lily's definitely here.
Yeah, I know. We saw her yesterday.
She was here yesterday. So this is a bit of an upset, whether she's overslept, didn't set the alarm, got caught in traffic.
Jet lag. There's not much traffic in Melbourne on a Saturday, but...
I mean, she's a professional athlete. I'm sure she didn't hit the casino last night. I'm sure she had an early night. But it's devastation for Lily Steiner. Unless she is sprinting as we speak onto the dock, it's highly unlikely. If she hasn't, not on the start dock now, the boat's already back to the start dock. So Lily Steiner looks like she's going to miss her slalom ride.
It's the thing here at Moomba. We run to a schedule. You all think that you might ski. We sort of average about 8 minutes a skier. We've had the first 3 skiers maybe only last.
Has been a little quicker, hasn't it?
You might think that you've got 20 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes extra.
Well, we just had Curtis Williams turn up. He knows that Lily went to bed early last night. She's staying just down the street from him. Got an early night. I don't know if I can repeat. Apparently Curtis's house was rocking pretty late last night, and there was even noise complaints. So maybe maybe it's all Curtis's fault. Maybe Curtis's Airbnb kept Lily Steiner's Airbnb awake, and she's overslept. It should be devastation for the Austrian.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's the calls through. Valentina Gonzalez, next skier through. So that's it. Fortunately for Lily Steiner.
That does not happen often. I mean, quite often, sometimes we get a skier like Trinidad Espinal in the girls' slalom at Junior Moomba didn't make it to the dock because she hadn't got a visa and we didn't know. But we know Lily Steiner's in the country, so that's...
No idea where she is. We'll find out about that a little bit later. But we go down to Chile, and it is Valentina Gonzalez who's looking to win a Moomba jump title, hopefully, over the weekend. Let's see if we get Valentina through to a slalom, at least a LCQ. Looks good, though, doesn't she? She's seen her brother out there, Matthias, in the junior comp. She's been here for a few days, so she's taken a little bit of time out of her own skiing to be here to support her brother. And runs that pass nicely. 14.25. So bring Valentina back 13 metres. On the green shortening on your standard tournament tow line. Get her through this. Current lead set is with Erika Lang with 2 on the 12. We know the cut to get through is going to be somewhere. Glenn, we always start to talk about cuts and what it's going to take to get through to the final. A little bit different this year with the LCQ, but I think you're going to have to get, I think, onto the 11.25, aren't you? With the calibre of skis we've got this year, at least a score on 11 is going to get you a chance. Oh,
Valentina Gonzalez falls on the 13-metre line, and still only Erika Lang has run her second pass. Well, the cut's not looking super high at the moment to get into the, or at least into the, to get to ski again. You really don't, if you can avoid the LCQ, you want to, don't you? Really want to be in the top 6 today. Well, Sanchia Outram up next, the skier that I know a fair bit about. She's from Great Britain, Team GB team member, but she resides in New Zealand, works for Rowing New Zealand down in on Lake Karapiro. Super popular with New Zealand water skiers. So, like I say, although she's British national and skis for Great Britain. She is trains and does all her skiing and skis her tournaments predominantly in New Zealand. See how she handles these conditions. She's normally good, pretty consistent running 12 normally, and normally good for get at least sort of 2 or 3 at 11. Obviously it's a Yarra, it's a different sort of a site. If I look out there right now though, I mean obviously it's a little bit movie because we're kind of at high tide, but there's not really any strong current or anything, so it's probably a little bit like training in New Zealand when Lake Karapiro's high. It's a dam and you don't have a lot of control over the level, and if you get a high lake level at Karapiro or Pairi, it's probably similar to that right now out there on the Yarra. So she should feel relatively at home, hopefully.
Here she comes on those entry gates, first pass. Just to get through, guarantee a spot in the LCQ. She needs to go more than 3.5 on the 13-metre line from our calculations up here. Looking good so far there. Sanchia Outram completes the opening pass there, Glenn. Nice.
Yeah, nice. Good pass. Very good 3-event skier, Sanch. She's tricks very close to 7,000 points, runs deep 11, and can jump up around 42 metres, so good solid 3-event skier. So, hopefully she can get through the 13-metre line. And just a note to any of our women slalomers who have just turned up on site, we are running probably almost half an hour ahead, maybe 20 minutes ahead.
At least 20, yeah.
20 minutes ahead, so if where you think you were skiing, you're probably skiing 20 minutes earlier. We've had one skier not make it to the dock, and Lily Steiner, and we've had a number of skiers fall on their second pass, unfortunately. So we are running ahead just a little bit.
Now returning on the 13-metre line, Sanchia. Beautiful morning. Doesn't get much better than this for a Saturday in Melbourne. Here she comes. Can eye off those entry gates. See if she can get through this next pass. Guarantee her a spot in the LCQ. Really wants to put a score out there for the girls to chase. Put a bit of pressure on the dock, and it really makes a big difference. Oh no, she's gone down 2, 3.5, Glenn.
It's rolly out there, right there. When she come around 4 ball, you just saw she's hit some decent sort of rollies. That's disappointing, but it just shows you it's tough out there. For Sanchia Outram to miss 13 metre, it's very tough conditions. I don't know if those rollies come off the jump start dock or not, but it's high tide, so it's very pronounced. Any kind of movement we get at the moment is very pronounced, and she came out of 4 ball. We can watch it here now, and yeah, I mean, just kind of maybe not quite in the right position, but I think she'd get away with that 9 times out of 10, that position. She just hit a couple of bumps there, basically. So she's a bit of a minefield at the moment out there on the Yarra. So that means we now know what the cut is to survive. It'll be 2 at 12.
So Erika will go through to the LCQ.
She's through, yep.
Means the cut will be Sanchia with 3.5. So you've got to go more than 3.5 at the...
So 4 at 13.
Yeah.
Will get you not into the final, but will get you at least an opportunity to do the LCQ. So that's relatively low cut at the moment, but maybe a bit of an eye to the conditions, just how tough they are. So 6 skiers go straight into the final today, and 6 skiers will go into the LCQ tomorrow afternoon. And of those 6 that go through, 2 will make it through to the final. So if 6 skiers in the LCQ tomorrow, the top 2 out of that LCQ will go through to the final.
Now we go to a couple of junior competitors. We'll have Alexia Abelson, USA, and then we'll have Daniela Kretschmer of Chile. We'll then have Sasha Danishevskaya of the USA, Cristiana De Osma, Peru, Sadie Ferguson from Australia. Next few skiers, but yeah, as you said, Glenn, we're really motoring through this women's slalom prelim. And Alexia Abelson, she's already felt the conditions. This is her third set in slalom on the Yarra for 2025. Takes him 5 ball, got pulled a little bit forward out of 5, but gets back on the handle and A-OK.
Well, Alexia Abelson, maybe with the benefit of a little bit of time on the Yarra the last couple of days in Junior MOOMBA, but it seems like the skiers are having no problems with their first pass coming down from the Swan Street Bridge. It's the second pass that seems to be the issue. So even though the likes of Sanchia and Valentina Gonzalez will be disappointed with their set, and Layne Moroney, they actually still have a reasonable chance here of maybe getting into the LCQ, depending on what happens with the next 10 or so skiers.
It's funny though, you have this talk every year about how the conditions look good. Everyone will be looking on the webcast going, God, it doesn't look that bad out there, but something's different when you're on that water, and it's, as you said, Glenn, those rollers can come from anywhere. You can't replicate every single pass. Not every pass is identical for these skiers, but Alexia Abelson, she's around 4 ball now, and there you go. She's going to complete 13. She did it in the juniors. She's done it again. She scored a half at the 12, but looked like the way she skied the juniors that she has every chance of running this next pass. But great work there, completing the 12-metre line.
Yep, good stuff. Skied pretty well at Junior MOOMBA. Young American, and she's onto the 12-metre line.
So yeah, Alexia Abelson take the lead. Currently held Erika Lang with 2 at 12. What are we? 4, 8. There's 8 skier. 8 skier, and we're only going for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Moving along very, very quickly through this women's preliminary round. Good shot there of from the other side of the northern bank. Looking back over towards the main side there, start dock and jump start dock.
Last night I watched Night Jump from over there.
Oh, yeah?
And you know, because it reminded me of the old days when I was, you know, coming here 20 years ago, being on that other side, and that was great. It was a great event. And the crowd, just being amongst the crowd and how excited they get. And everybody's filming on their phones. I was amazed. It was standing with 30 people and 25 of them all had their phones out. So there's a lot of great water ski footage coming out from general public at this event. Good start on 1 here. This is 12-metre line. Alexia Abelson, this is very good skiing. Cross of 3, over to 4. She's looking like a rock star at the moment. Can she run the 12-metre? Round 5, she hits the 6 and runs the pass, Jared. That's some sort of a sensation.
Yeah.
Really good skiing from Alexia Abelson. When many more experienced skiers have failed this morning, she's come through with a beautiful 12-metre pass.
Cream starts to rise to the top, doesn't it? Good to see Di Green in the way. Thanks, Di.
Well, it's actually Rob Wing, to be fair.
Rob
as well.
too, yeah.
Part of the commentary team.
There you go. Confirmed 6 on the 12. That's what we want to see. Do you know what, though? You know what, Glenn? It's a score here at 11. A score here at 2, 3, and 11.
She could go straight.
She could go straight through, yeah.
Although having said that, conditions are probably on the improve as the river gets lower. Thank you very much, Kevin Green, who's just brought a round of coffees for the judges and the announcers. What a good man that Kevin Green is.
So yeah, 11.25. Haven't said too much about the 11.25. Yak's the first competitor onto it, but yeah, between the centre of that boat course out to the turn buoy is 11.5 metres. The rope cannot reach the turn buoy. Well, let's see if Alexia Abelson can get a couple down this 11.25. Cement herself. Oh, she's going to go inside 2 ball. So put your hands together, Melbourne. Alexia Abelson.
That's a great score.
1.
Well, she'll ski again at MOOMBA. There's no two ways about it. She might even find herself straight into Monday's final. Gives herself a bit of an outside chance at that. But more likely she'll be in the LCQ tomorrow afternoon. We will wait and know. Well, next skier will be Daniela Kretschmer, who bronze medal at the University Worlds last weekend in Auckland. Skied very well at Junior MOOMBA over the last couple of days. Second at Junior MOOMBA, so she's, well, there you go. So she's got a third last weekend at Uni Worlds, a second at Junior MOOMBA. Maybe she can move up to first position at this event. That would be a pretty big upset, but she's a very good skier, of course.
Of course, we saw in the juniors, Glenn, both Daniela Kretschmer and Cristiana De Osma tying.
Yeah.
In the second round, tying the scores of the 2 rounds added together, and because of the better second round score, which is what the tiebreak goes off, gave Cristiana De Osma the win. She's going to start on the 14.25. 18 years of age. From the Miranda Ski School down there in Santiago in Chile. Looking good so far. Nice reach there for 4 ball. Perfectly into 5. There you go.
Yeah, nice pass. Yeah. Beautiful. So at some stage here, the tide is going to start to go out and the current will start to pick up. It's probably slowly going at the moment, but it will pick up, which will mean it will get less rolly as the river level drops, but it also will get a little tougher maybe from the Swan Street Bridge end. At the moment, the Swan Street Bridge end and the Start Dock end is obviously the same end. At the moment, it seems easier from that end. I think possibly has something to do with the slightly longer wait time at that end, maybe. I'm not sure, but we just noticed that when skiers come back on their second pass from the city end, they seem to get a little bit of washback from a couple of areas down here near the Henley Landing and the Jump Start Dock. But then you get Alexia Abelson who goes out there and just smashes it, has no issues at all. So who knows? Conditions are probably on the improve every minute here as we go through this ladies slalom elimination round.
Yeah, it's hard to sort of work out. It's hard to judge what the skiers are feeling out there from up here. We might even get a chance to go and have a chat to some of the skiers a little bit later on. But Daniela Kretschmer onto the 13-metre line, gets to 2 ball. Yeah, looking good here, looking composed, looking settled. 4 ball into 5. There you go. Completes the 13. Again, she will be skiing again at a minimum.
Yeah,
Glenn.
Good skiing. Yep, it's just a question now whether she skis Sunday tomorrow or whether she just waits and goes straight into that final on Monday. So she'll shorten out to the 12-metre line. We'll take a metre off the length of the rope from 13 metre down to 12 metre. The blue shortening. If you ski at home and you got a slalom rope and you maybe don't ski the course that often or ski tournaments and you wonder what all the colours are for on your rope. She's just completed the green shortening. Now she's going to come back in on the blue shortening. And I challenge you, if you've just started going through the slalom course, maybe you've run your first slalom course, just have a bit of play one day. Put it on the blue shortening, put it on the 12. And I'd be very surprised if you can get out wide enough to go around one ball.
Even if you're a free skier.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go and try it. Go and try it. Shorten that lineup as shorten even to 12. It's tough, isn't it? The extra speed and the extra width you get.
I can remember when I was a junior and I was maybe, I don't know, I might have been able to run 14 if I was lucky. And Steve Cockram at the time was coaching, and we had a bit of a laugh, and he put me on 10.75 and said, I bet you, I don't know what it was, might have been a beer, that you can't get out to one ball, and I couldn't get out to one ball at 10.75, and I could run 14 at the time, so just shows you how hard it is.
All right, so now Daniela Kretschmer onto the 12. Can we get her through this pass? Challenge for that lead. Get herself into first place, but she looks good here. Little bit of speed into 3 ball. She's going to need to slow that ski down, which she does. Now at 4, working her way to 5. Oh, she's going to be late for 6 though. Pulls long and hard, and there you go. Put Yancey to Melbourne.
Good
Daniela
skiing.
Kretschmer through to the 12.
It's wonderful skiing. I've never quite figured out at MOOMBA whether the conditions miraculously get better from skier to skier, or just that the skiers get better, if you understand what I mean. Like, because the last 2 skiers have made it look really good out there. So earlier on we're talking about how tough the conditions were. Now, but is it just that? Well, Alexia and Daniela have both had junior MOOMBAs, so they've had a couple of days to get used to it. Are they kind of in zone with the sight, or are they just a cut above the rest of the skiers? I'm not sure, but they look so much better than the previous 7 or 8 skiers that have been out there. Sometimes
I think you've got to be a little bit lucky.
Well, you do, yes.
Because if as you said, if you're not ready for some of the rollers that are out there, that may just come out of nowhere and hit you. If you're not ready for that, and you really can't be ready for that because you don't know where they're going to hit you, if you can have a clean pass, or even that fraction of a second longer, if the drop time's that fraction of a second longer, or anything, I just think you've got to be lucky to get the conditions, especially when it's this high, and especially when it's this rolly in the Yarra, that every pass is going to feel different.
Yeah, absolutely. So Daniela Kretschmer of Chile, here she comes now, 11.25 metre line. Current lead is 1 boy from Alexia Abelson. Let's see if she can go further. Around 1, across to 2. This is a good score. 2 on the 11 will be her score. Takes the lead. Well done.
It's somewhere where we would usually see the cut to make it through. 2, maybe 3. 3 at 11 would probably be where you'd expect the cut to be, especially with only 6. Usually we have 8 going through straight to the final, but this year with 6, maybe a fraction higher. Go back to that replay, snaps 2 ball, but just didn't quite get it there. But just hearing though, Glenn. Of course, with slalom, we need to make sure that the skiers go through the entry gates and out the exit gates. I believe they're just doing a gate review.
Ooh.
For Daniela Kretschmer on that pass.
I'm sure she'll be fine. Just wait and hope that she's got those gates. That sort of thing's quite critical, not to make the LCQ, but to make that final 6 on Monday. The difference between 0 and 2 is quite a big score. Okay, so it sounds like she's okay. Is that what we're saying? Yep, she's got 2. Gates are okay. So that's significant for her, because 2 at 11 is starting to look like a good score. Although having said that, now that everybody's skiing, well, the madness of this morning is over, and you look at the skiers still to come, 2 at 11 probably won't be enough to make get straight into Monday. You're probably looking more like 4 at 11 or something like that, I would think.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 at 11 will get you through. Of course, we've got Sasha Danishevskaya of the USA, Cristiana De Osma, Peru, Sadie Ferguson, Australia's hopeful, top seed for Australia. Going to be coming up next few minutes. We'll have Anne-Marie Rubleski of the USA, Ali Garcia, USA, Nelly Ross, Canada, Elizabeth Montavon, USA, Whitney McClintock, Whitney Reaney, and of course, your defending MOOMBA Masters slalom champion from the USA, Regina Jaquist. All coming up here But we're moving on now to Sasha Danishevskaya of the USA. Of course, recently married to superstar jumper Taylor Garcia. What a wedding it was, I heard.
Yeah, good opening pass.
Completed opening pass.
For Sasha. You obviously didn't get the invite to the wedding, Jared. I thought you were pretty tight, mate. I thought you'd be one of the first guys invited on the list.
I would have got too drunk and probably
embarrassed
myself.
Let down Australia?
Yeah, maybe.
No, it's cool. No, it was good. I saw the updates on Facebook. It's great to see. As you know, Jared, I'm a little bit. I'm probably the worst on the commentary team for pronouncing names, and I was kind of secretly hoping. I can't believe I'm about to say this on here. I was secretly hoping that she maybe would have changed her last name to Garcia just to help me out a little bit, but.
You even said off air this morning just before we started. I haven't even gone through the names yet to see if there's any hard ones to pronounce. But
yeah. Yeah, I grew up I'm from a rural farming community in New Zealand, and all the names are either Smith or Williams or Wilson or.
All right, so Sasha back now, 13 metres. 3.5 will get her through to the LCQ, but I know she'll want to cement her spot into MOOMBA Monday. Of course, 3 eventing, skiing in all 3 events in the overall competition. Love to see her win the overall. Got the skiing deep there at 3 ball, though, there for Sasha. But back on the pass.
Good score.
Yeah, there she's through. Yeah, but heart mouth stuff there at 3 ball looked like from our position.
Yeah, but you're right. But she got away with it. And, yeah, arguably the favourite in the overall, you'd have to say. I mean, there's some other contenders, of course. Valentina Gonzalez is one of them.
Sadie
obviously,
Ferguson.
Is Regina skiing all 3 events? Well, if
I
Regina
so,
skis
yeah.
all 3 events, then she's also one of the favourites, obviously. But Sasha's right up there in the overall. And she runs the 13-metre line, 32 off. She'll be shortening now onto the blue shortening, the 12-metre line.
A lot of water skiers proposing, and got a few weddings coming up. Of course, Jack Christie and Regina Jacques getting engaged a little while ago.
One of the power couples, of course.
Yeah. Taylor and Sasha. And just waiting on Layne Moroney and Joel O'Toole to... Thought it was going to happen last night, but it didn't.
Of course, while we're talking power couples, of course, my own son, Curtis Williams, and Katie Horton, engaged. I'll officially become part of the Horton family. Well, we have pass number 3 coming up now, 12-metre line. Alexia Danishevskaya, recently married to Taylor Garcia. So one of the great power couples. And they're both moving, I think, pretty soon to San Diego. Taylor's going to continue his law education or get into the law profession. Here's Sasha now. This is 12-metre line. She's fighting and prodding and pulling her way down this pass. If she can pull this off, this will be some sort of a miracle.
Oh.
Cross the 6 she goes. Oh, that's gutsy skiing, Jared. That is powerhouse skiing.
It's tough.
Typical of something you see from an Eastern European whose main event's a trick and jump. That she just sort of finds a way on the Yarra River, despite all the rollies, despite the conditions, to push and pull and prod her way down that 12-metre pass.
Made it through to MOOMBA Monday last year, ended up in 7th position. She want to be at the top, pushing that, but she's really looking this year at a jump title. She really wants a jump title here at MOOMBA.
Crazy things happened here with this field. If you look at these scores, you know, we got to Sanchia Outram, finished up. Nobody could run 13 metre. Nobody could run a second pass. I know Erika did, but the rest, nobody else could. And all of a sudden, the last 3 skiers have run 12-metre line. It's like, did the conditions change that much? Surely not. Like,
no, I wouldn't have thought so.
It's just one of those things. Maybe once the girls saw Alexia run 12, Alexia Abelson, they all thought that just sort of psychologically flicked them into that gear, thinking I'm going to run 12. I'm not sure.
Slalom is a very psychological sport, though, too, isn't it? By the time you think about what you've got to try and do, can you replicate that on the water? Yeah, it is very psychological. But here comes Sasha now onto the 11.25. Can she get more than 2? Take the lead. She's going to take a 1, and there you go. Put your hands to the Melbourne 1 on the 11.25.
Yeah, good score.
Through to a minimum LCQ.
Yep. Next skier will be Cristiana De Osma from Peru. She, of course, as we said earlier, won the Junior MOOMBA Slalom title yesterday, so it's got a bit of good form out here on the Yarra. Let's wait and see what she can do here. Well, the calls come up from the boat judge, Sarah Wainwright, actually from New Zealand. One of the world's best boat judges. Good to have a boat on International Women's Day. Good to recognise our classy ladies involved in the sport of water skiing. Sarah Wainwright is one of them, one of the mainstays of New Zealand water skiing and arguably New Zealand's #1 official judge. And she's just put the call through that Cristiana De Osma will start on the 14.25. And here she is from the Swan Street Bridge end. That's a lovely pass. See, Jared, I look out on the Yarra right now, and I think it looks mint.
It's perfect, doesn't it?
So, I don't know. I don't know whether we just went through a bit of a bad patch there for the first 5 or 6 skiers or not.
Could be nerves. Could be the fact that it is a seeded event, so the calibre of skiers does get better as we get through the event. Don't want to put down any of the skiers that we've already been, but you can really only put it down to 2 or 3 things. It's rather it's nerves. They've hit something they weren't ready for, but that's just the conditions that it are. Or you weren't ready to get out there and ski. It is an early morning. A lot of these skiers don't normally start skiing. 8 o'clock is maybe not awake yet.
Oh, come on, Jared.
A little bit more through the morning. We're trying to make some sort of excuses here.
You can't tell me that to ski at 8 o'clock.
Well, Little Steiner certainly wasn't.
Well, no. Good point. Well, we've got to be careful here. It's possible she's crook or something.
Potentially,
maybe yeah, it's a bit unexplained. Might have picked up a bit of a bug on the aeroplane. She's been in New Zealand for 10 days. Maybe she picked up a bug in New Zealand.
That definitely would give you a bug over in New Zealand.
Thanks, mate. You're just being like that because you didn't make the Oceania team, mate. You were coming to New Zealand. The Aussie selectors left you out.
Yeah.
Rubbish Binny. Left out by the selectors, Jared Ferrara.
Yeah, that's it. 13 metres for Cristiana De Osma now. It's in a 3 ball. She's looking good, isn't she? Looking strong. Can use that information you learned over the junior competition, and she's just smoked that 13-metre pass. And we will get her onto the 12-metre line next.
Yep, a couple of nice passes to open up for Cristiana. She'll shorten out to the 12-metre line.